So we are talking today with Mr. Shepard Iverson. And Mr. Iverson, you are a candidate for the District 1 school board seat. And Mr. Iverson, can you just tell us today a little bit about why you decided to run for school board this year?
Well, I have a 7-year-old who was in Miss Salakis' first grade class at Baghdad Elementary last semester. And so I have a vested interest in the school board here. And there's been so much controversy over the last couple of years that I decided that I'd put my hat in the ring and see if I can calm things down a bit.
And what do you see in the coming years, next couple of years, what do you see as the major challenges that are going to be facing the school board?
Well, everybody, of course, knows that budget problems are an issue. But, you know, I think one of the problems we have is that the school board currently doesn't micromanage finances well enough. I mean, they're pretty good at throwing around large responsibilities, large checks to different functions. But, you know, for instance, the 3-tier school bus situation, we can do a better job of micromanaging the routes. And, you know, you save 10, 20,000 here and 10, 20,000 there. Pretty soon you don't have to close months and months in elementary school. I think a lot of the decisions that have been made over the last couple of years by the school board have actually you know, been maybe smart economically from a macro perspective, but they haven't been very good for the kids.
If you were elected today, what are the major kind of points that you would address first?
To tell you the truth, I am pretty green. I'll have to be around for a while before I can make a decision on that. You know, it's like Diane Scott and the other members on the school board. They can speak from living inside the box for the last 4 years. I haven't been there, and so I'd rather not make any specific commitments right now. On the other hand, you know, I'm hoping that we can get 3 new commissioners on the board and move forward.
Of course, we know Santa Rosa County does very well, scores-wise, performance-wise throughout the state. What do you think what's the strategy for making sure that continues? How do we make sure that continues?
Well, I have a PhD in the social sciences. That's frankly not necessarily any great thing. I mean, the schools that perform worse than we do have a different demographic. I mean, when you look at how schools perform around the country, it has everything to do with demographics and the population that's being studied and is going to school. But I think the more important point really here is, like I said inside in my speech, the important ranking today is not between Florida and Massachusetts or Robert and Heather. It's between Heather and Robert and Chung Lee. It doesn't matter how we rank with each other. We've got to start looking overseas and looking at the skill sets that our competitors are learning abroad and bring those into Santa Rosa County. That's certainly one of my expertise.
Any major differences up front in how they do it over there that could be incorporated here?
Well, interesting. If you ask any principal in Korea, that's where I've been teaching, they'll tell you their most important task is the moral education of their children. So what we have is elementary kids at the end of the school day cleaning off the blackboards, mopping the hallways, sweeping with brooms, and you know, they take pride in their school. They have fun doing the cleanup, and it's called ownership. I mean, they really you know, are involved. There's a sense of an educational community, and I think many times in many of our communities we've lost that because we don't have as much involvement of students or for that matter parents. And I'd certainly like to encourage that, if not that exact enterprise, at least something that can reinvigorate our schools in Santa Rosa County.
Yeah, we know that parent involvement is a major factor in student performance. Any kind of strategies for getting parents more involved?
Well, something like that, actually. You know, there's lots of initiatives that can be pursued. One of the important things to do is ask the parents, what do they want to do? They're going to be more involved in doing something that they think is important. I think there's a great resource out there that's untapped. I think the school board's alienated not only faculty, not only the teachers, but also many of the parents. We need a change.
Gotcha. Can I ask you your opinion of FCAT? That's always a big hot potato.
Not with me. It's an unfair and unfriendly test that doesn't test what it's supposed to. It's discriminatory. It puts the worst thing it does. It makes teachers. It forces teachers to teach to a test. And so the students are learning what to think and not how to think. And that's almost the worst thing you could ever teach them in education.
And another criticism we've heard lately had to do with the percentage of instructional personnel versus administrative personnel. Any thoughts on that in this county?
Well, once again, I'm not privy to inside the black box of the school board. I haven't been on it for the last 4 years, like Diane Scott has been. Let me say that all institutions across America have been top-heavy for a lot of years, and if there hasn't been significant change, revamping of an institutional structure, then it will be top-heavy. And I have heard through rumor, through friends, that we do have a top-heavy administrative structure. And I wouldn't just go fire people. We can get rid of people or lower the number of people on the administration by retirement and other other friendly means.
Mr. Shepard Iverson, we thank you for talking to us this evening.